Hey, we're having fun here. I want to talk about some emotion. We're emotional here today. I'm emotional anyway. I got freaking goosebumps about Monday. And I want to tell you a story, and I'm going to be transparent here because I just got to tell the story. I've hinted about this in my first book, Helicopter Check Ride, that #1 bestseller. Talked a little bit about this myself in the beginning. Talk a little bit in the new book, Build Your Online Business, that'll be released Monday. I hint towards kind of what's transpired in the last 5 years, but I never really openly talk about it. And I was talking to Steve this morning, we're getting ready to go, and I said, you know what, I want to tell the story. I want to tell the story. 2008, life is good. I have great credit, have an EMS job, flying a $6 million helicopter, making $50,000 a year. Life is good. Good credit, money in the bank, have retirement, have savings. Life is good. 2008, prior to the economy tanking, let's add that to it. So what do? I buy my dream helicopter. I had flown this aircraft in the past and thought, wow, if I ever buy a helicopter, this would be the one that I want. With no serious intention of ever really buying a helicopter, because I ran a heavy-duty towing service for 10 years with big heavy-duty trucks that were expensive, that cost a lot in fuel, that cost a lot in insurance, that cost a lot of maintenance, was horrible. And I was flying EMS, and the company I worked for part-time during my days off from flying EMS, I worked with this company giving rides, and they go, hey, go ahead and fly that take the home flight to work tomorrow if you want. So I flew this helicopter, I flew this helicopter to work to go fly that helicopter. And it was for a night shift, parked inside the hangar. The next morning I'm out in the hangar talking to the mechanic, and we're looking at this helicopter, and I go, man, if I ever wanted to buy one, this would be the one that I would want. But I'll never do anything dumb like that. Well, along the way I get flying with some wealthy business individuals, and they're like, oh, you should buy your own helicopter. And at first I'm like, you're crazy. The first time I lose an engine for 35 grand, I'm gonna go, where's that money gonna come from, you know? So, get these wealthy guys their ratings, and they're like, here, you should buy a helicopter. You got good credit, we'll help you get the loan. All of our buddies will come fly with you. You'll make all kinds of money, life will be grand. Oh, we got all these wealthy partners, and oh, you can charge. At that time, I was charging $100 an hour for my time. I was charging $150 per diem to drive there to fly with them, and they were writing the checks. Happy to write the checks. No big deal. Here's the check. So, yeah, what do? I buy my helicopter. Well, that's 2008, around July, summertime. Well, guess what happens with the economy in 2008? Nosedives. So, I take delivery of the helicopter. It took months of planning, loans. It's like buying a freaking house or worse. Helicopter comes. All those guys that were going to fly with me, oh, hey, the economy's tanking now. We're not sure, but we don't know about this. So here it is. Economy tanks. I got an aircraft costing me $2,000 a month, and just in a helicopter payment. Anyway, so I try. I work really hard at it, and I promote the helicopter with video. This would have been about 2009, 2010. My good buddy Nick Logan, who I worked with flying EMS helicopter, Nick comes to work where we are, and I hear him in the other room talking about marketing. And I said, hey, do you help little companies like me, little one-man operations? The helicopter on the side. Yeah, you should be blogging and doing videos. And he loaned me a little flip video camera, and all these years later, here I am. So I get to the marketing the helicopter, keep working EMS for a while. But as the helicopter that cost me $2,000 a month for the payment, $1,800 a month for insurance, annual inspection, 10 grand, because I paid who I felt was some of the best in the business. I wanted the aircraft maintained right. I didn't want any problems. Whatever it cost, let's fix it. 10 grand a year just for the annual. If you lose the PTO cable, that's like a PTO cable on a heavy duty truck. I know what those are. I ran heavy duty trucks for 10 years. That's a $100 cable. But it's aircraft certified, so that throttle cable is going to cost me $1,800 for something no more than a throttle cable? Are you kidding me? So I'm very quickly learning after doing tow trucks, big heavy duty wreckers for 10 years, high insurance, high maintenance, and that ruins my credit the first time. I rebuild my credit over the years enough to buy a helicopter. So what happens to me time number 2? I ruin my credit again. It takes my retirement, it takes my savings, it takes the property that I owned, it took everything that I had. You know, now years later, my ground school members will email me and go, hey Kenny, I got this great idea how I'm gonna buy this helicopter. And I can make the payment if I get these 2 guys to fly, and I can make the payment and I think I can make this work. What do you think? And I'll respond to them and say, you know what? Don't do it. Unless you have a whole great big pile of money in the bank that you can just throw away, throw out the window, don't do it. If you're average, ordinary, everyday Joe Blow, do not buy a helicopter, okay? At the time when I did this, I heard that old saying, happiest day is when you buy your helicopter, happiest day of your life. Second happiest day of your life is the day you get rid of your helicopter. I understand that now. Also met a guy from the FAA, came to one of my deals. When I had a big event here at the airport and everybody's here and they're, oh yeah, this is cool. Guy from the FAA says, no matter what, don't fall in love with your helicopter. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, what I'm telling you, never fall in love with your helicopter or your aircraft of any kind. Keep it as long as you can keep it, but when things start to go a little south, be ready to walk away from them, be ready to dump them. Well, I didn't. I spent 4 years working, flying elsewhere, running my company, letting this thing just drag my money. Just keeps draining it. About 2 years into it, a good friend of mine that's downstairs every morning at the airport, retired school teacher and friend of mine, 30-year flight instructor. 2 years into it, he's like, Kenny, you need to just sell that son of a bitch. And I'm like, oh, what? Sell my baby? My helicopter that I've put my whole entire life into? Oh, what are you talking about? I should have listened 2 years in and dumped it when he said that. But it's a funny joke now, and I'm giving you the hard luck story because there is a happy ending to this. But back to the story, the other important part of the story that I really want to hit is 5 years into it, 2012, as I mentioned, retirement gone, savings gone, property's gone. I got nothing. Driving to the airport one night, I'm meeting a commercial guy who is just come out of the military, wanted to get civilian trained, freshened up so he could get an EMS job. He has money on account, okay? So I'm driving to work in my car, coming to the airport, and I'm like, I literally have $30 on one account, one card, and maybe 50 on the other. And I'm thinking, how am I going to buy fuel tonight? I'm like, I'm going to have to ask my customer, who already has money on account, if he can buy the fuel and I can credit it back to him. So I'm feeling like a lowlife at this point. You know, hey, I'm online shooting video and doing great things and have a following, which is all great and all happy, but in reality, I'm so broke I can't even pay attention. So I'm driving to the airport and my phone goes off because this is 2012. I had launched online ground school March 1st, 2012. A little slow getting going, but I'm not really thinking about what's happening. This is more towards the fall. So I've been online for a while, selling my online membership site to Online Ground School, making money from my knowledge, not from the helicopter. So this night, driving to work, my iPhone goes off, ding, PayPal, woo, hey. You know, at that time, my training link was $277. So I'm like, yes, I got $277 in my hand. I'm all happy. I pull into the airport, meet my guy, we get the helicopter out, and here I am, dumping fuel in the helicopter. I'm dumping, you know, it's gurgling in there, and the whole thing's cleaning and going around and around and around, money racking. And I'm going, this helicopter that has taken my retirement, has taken my savings, has taken my property, taken pretty much everything I ever owned, I put into this helicopter. And shame on me for not dumping it sooner, but you know, you get in a mode, hey, I can do it, I'm going to make this work, I'm going to stay with it, I'm going to do it. Well, reality is that I'm broke, I'm dumping the fuel in there, and it dawns on me. No, You've taken everything that I had, and now you are taking the money that I made from my knowledge online, and it's in my account, and it's going into the tank of the flipping helicopter. And I had an offer on the aircraft at that time. A lot of things were going wrong in my life. My dad passed away. I'm broke. I reunited with a high school sweetheart and I moved down south. That didn't pan out. So I'm hitting all those things. You know, we have rough points in our life. We have them up, we have them down. We all do it. We all go through it. Everybody's going through something. I'm not giving you the hard luck story. I'm just giving you the reality. You know, I had problems in the past. You know, we all do. Times are good, times are bad. So I'm thinking I'm done. So I continue on with Helicopter Online Ground School. This picture is from our 5-year celebration where, you know, I was online talking about and taking pictures of all our members. I mean, the success stories are awesome. 5 years online with Helicopter Online Ground School. My members have taken this training and done amazing things with it. Stuff I never would have dreamed. The connections that I've made, the people that I've met all over the world is incredible. We now have ground school members coming here to fly with us because we have aircraft to use, not owned by me, which is a beautiful thing. I'll elaborate on that more before we're done. But so the ground school thing, you know, is how I went from being low life, broke, down in the dumps, got nothing, but I built something cool. I said no to the helicopter. I'm going to pursue this online ground school thing, and continued on. Published my first, you know, Amazon bestseller 2 years ago. No, well, 2014. I did that because of the training that I watch, all the gurus that I've learned from. I'll call them my heroes. Back when I started online ground school, I was going to do an ebook, and I was going to do a website, and I was going to do this, and I was going to charge $10 for this and $20 for that, and maybe I can spend, you know, make $100 here. Well, I come across a couple marketing gurus, and I ended up in the last year, I got to meet two of them, Mike Koenigs and Pam Hendrickson. I got to meet both of these two in the last year. And this past winter, when I first met Mike, I went to an all-day event. I've been learning from this guy for 5 years. He's the one that when I launched ground school, I watched a video from him and he said, don't mess around with just an ebook and this. If you're going to make 10 grand on an ebook, you need a list of 200,000 people to sell that ebook to. I didn't have a list of 20,000 people or 200,000 people, whatever it is. He said, take everything you got, all your knowledge, everything you got, put it in one package and sell it for $300 to $500. That's what I did. I launched on his advice, used all of his free stuff. Same thing with Pam. I ended up later buying some of their courses, which has helped me, you know, continue on with the business. But the cool thing when I was with Mike, you know, they had never met me, and they go around the room and say, real quick, tell us your story. I told him the story I just told you, but I made it the short version. And when I'm done, he's like, God, I wish I had the cameras rolling on that. Would you reshoot that for us, or could we film that later? And I said, absolutely. So I got to meet, you know, my heroes in the industry, meet them firsthand, and when I told my story, I realized how advanced I was. Same thing when I got to meet Pam. You know, I'm the last person to speak in the group of people, just like the first time. And when I just a quick blurb of who I am and where I'm at and why I was in San Diego, California, they both loved my story, and I was able to come back now and go, you know what, I've done something cool. I not only have I'm rebuilding my wealth, repaying old debts, rebuilding my credit, and it's all due to my online efforts. So, I'm trying to remember if I got anything else on here. Which leads into build your online business. Selling a digital product online is the coolest thing on the planet. I still fly. We have helicopters here owned by friends of ours. The main one we have, the Instrom, is a good friend of mine from Cleveland. I taught to fly 15 years ago, and we have his baby, his aircraft that we got for him about 12 to 13 years ago. It's a cream puff, and he all summer flies a little bit in the summer, but then 6 months out of the year it sits and does nothing. So a couple years ago, he's like, Kenny, why don't you just come get 2.6 Papa when you're during the winter, and you guys can fly it, send me the money back per hour for the aircraft, and You know, hey, what a wonderful thing, and it works out great. We've been doing it for 2 years now. Gary Cleveland's getting ready to go full-time with us at Helicopter Online Ground School. In a couple weeks, he's flying. He's working full-time as a police officer, and he's here all of his time off flying with ground school members. We have one here from Texas. 2 days ago, we had one here from the U.S. Virgin Islands. The week before, we had one here from Texas. Before that, we had 2 from Illinois. Some of them are bringing their own aircraft in. So I built the new training, actually, this Build Your Online Business, the book we're launching Monday. I've been working on this for 2.5 years. So it doesn't take away from ground school. It's been me documenting what I did 5 years ago, the little tiny flip video camera, into what I have today. A studio, full-fledged studio, online courses. I'm losing my train of thought. That's why I have this passion for the Build Your Online Business also. What I've been able to do online, it's incredible. And this picture right here, Beach Services Office, I've been to the Gulf Coast the last 2 years for a short vacation with my daughter. Something I couldn't have done 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. There's no way. I didn't have enough money. I was trying to rebuild things, you know, put my life back together. But 2 years ago, we go down to the Gulf Coast and stayed in a nice motel. Still got it on hotwire, you know, so we had a really nice place for half the money or less. But this is my picture I took. We're walking out to the beach, and I just stopped. I'm like, you know what? I'm here now because of my online business. This is what we all want. We all have that dream of, I want that business where I can work from the beach, or I can work for anywhere. Well, in 5 years, I've lived in California, North Carolina. I've been to other states flying with people. I'm always able to operate my online business. Now I can run the whole thing from my iPhone. Of course, I have computers and equipment at our headquarters, world headquarters here in Plymouth, Indiana. But I can be on the road, I can be on vacation, I can live and go anywhere I want, and I can run my online business. So when I walk past this beach picture, I'm just like, that's it. Beach Services Office. Think about this job. Whoever has this job, they come every day, put out the umbrellas, and they sit there in their chair and they take people's money. You know, they probably work for the hotel. It doesn't matter. Point is, this is what we all want, which is why the book, I'm going to grab it, walk off camera just for a second. That's why that picture is the one that's on my new book, because it's a picture that means something to me. It's how I, built the online business. It's how I did it, and that's why we're excited about. And I just want to tell the story today because some people know my story, and some people have had a hint of my story, but that's really the gist of it. I'm not a marketing guru trying to show you that I'm driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris and I live in this 8-post mountain up on a big hill, because that's not the case. I'm an average ordinary day guy rebuilding my life, rebuilding my wealth, driving a decent vehicle, living in a nice apartment, doing what I want to do, going to work every day because I love coming to work, love running my online ground school and interacting with people from all over the world. I still love to fly. Gary does most of my flying. Gary has me jump in, like, hey, go check this guy out and do this with him, or something with Chris. I have Chris Hauser flies for me. I jump in and kind of do the advanced stuff, which is what I love. So bottom line, I wanted to share that story because it's very important. This is a highlight of my career. Launching this book on Monday, so we are going to have this live event on Monday. We're going to try to be on most of the day. We're going to start at 11 a.m. 9 a.m. I'm doing a radio interview. 11 will be live here. Amazon gift card giveaways. We want people to interact with us. We want people to ask questions. Locally, we've invited people to stop by if they want. Come in live on camera and talk about launching books, Amazon bestsellers, building online membership sites, taking whatever your passion is. I have online ground school members that, and I keep using the paramedic as an example, and this goes across the board for many different niches, where they'll email me and go, hey, Kenny, I've been a flight paramedic for 20 years and I want to get in helicopters and I'm working on my ratings. I'd like to do something like you do. How can I do that? So I get that question a lot because people wanting to know, how does an everyday guy like me, who knew nothing about computers, nothing about the internet, nothing about cameras, nothing about studios, I grabbed a little video and got started. Borrowed a little flip video camera Nick Logan gave me. Thank you, Nick. I should even see if I grab it real quick. Steve, see if it's in there in that drawer. I want to show you real quick. But that's what I started with. And any of you can do the same thing. You can take your iPhone, your Android. That stuff has gotten so good. An everyday person can take their iPhone, set it up on a little tripod or stick it to the wall, whatever, start making videos, start sharing your passion, your knowledge, and you can create a business online. And I'm not saying this is a get-rich-quick scheme, because it isn't. This takes hard work. It takes effort. You got to put your knowledge to the grindstone. You got to be willing to work harder than everybody else. In the last 5 years, there's been plenty of weekends where I've been at work, where my friends are out going on the lake, or they're going here and going there, and they're going, hey, Kenny, you know, sometimes you just have to go, well, I'd love to go play and goof off, but you know what? I'm launching a book this weekend, or I'm launching a new online course, or I'm building an edition for my new customers. Sometimes you got to work a little harder than the other guy if you want to have your dream. If you want to have what you want to go after, you got to do the work. There is no get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. My online course is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Learning how to fly the helicopter, that ground school. My members, they have to work at it. They use our videos, but they got to sit down and apply the training. If you don't do the work, you're not going to get the rating. You're not going to pass. So, with that being said, there's the little flip video, and I'm going to wrap up the story. Nick Logan loaned that to me back in 2011. The photo that I just took here, this is from a night video in my course, shot with this little flip video camera. A night video inside my course, okay? So here's, you know, remnants from way back. And this was from that era. This was that time, that fall, 2012. That's me out there with my aircraft in the inn, dumping the fuel in the tank, going, there goes my money, there goes my knowledge, money I made. So anyway, that little dude right there is how I started. And you can do it with an iPhone. Simply put. And that's what we preach in the book and in the online courses. Get started. If you have knowledge, you have passion, you want to do a business, look around. I can give you facts and figures all day long. Where's our world going? Our world is going online. You know, helicopter and online ground school is awesome. My friends, followers, everybody that's been a part of that, the support has been incredible. There's a very small niche of people. I am excited about not only launching to people that have asked me for my ground school, but the general public, people that want to know. I like selling. I like selling. Of course I like selling. Who doesn't like selling? Who doesn't like making money? I like sharing my passion. I like the creation process. I like, and I take an idea, oh, I need to make a night video. My night video is 10 minutes long with a whole bunch of clips, but I created that, just one video out of an idea. And my whole site's done that way. Everything is from an idea. I think I should do a business like this. One more plug, and then I'm going to get off here. Mike Chase. Hope you're watching, Mike Chase. Back when I'm flying helicopter EMS, I go to work there, and I meet Mike Chase. Okay? This is late 2000, whenever. Prior to 2012 when I launched. And before online ground school, I'm talking with Mike as I was the new pilot there. God, this was a while back. Anyway, he goes, you know, you're an instructor that's always instructed. Most instructors work 2, 3, or 4 years and they move up the ladder and they never go back. You've always been instructing from day one, which I have. I've always stayed active as an instructor. Even when I'm flying EMS, I'm instructing on my days off because I love to teach. All these years later, I can tell you I have a lot more fun in a $150,000 aircraft going out and teaching somebody than I did flying a $6 million aircraft. But that's because I do what I want. I didn't like the oversight. I didn't do well because I like to do things the right way. I like to do things the way I'm trained. I don't like intervention from other people that aren't pilots. That's a whole nother story. But Mike Chase says, you should do something with your knowledge, like start a check ride corner or something online. Well, I said, you know, I'm going somewhere, but I don't know where. This is where it all went. And then I've remained friends with Mike. And 2.5 years ago, we're talking on the phone one day, and he's like, well, you know, you should take all this knowledge you have about audio and video and online membership sites and books, and you should start a how to build your online business thing. And I went, I'll start that this weekend, and I'll build it in a weekend. I'll have this ready next week. Well, needless to say, it took me 2.5 years to do it, but you know, Mike and I talk a lot, and he recently, you know, left his full-time flying job to pursue pursue online endeavors. But 2 to 3 years ago, we were talking, and he said, you know what the difference is between you, Kenny, and everybody else? He goes, just between me and, or for like you and me as examples, he goes, I'm always taking aim. You know, I'm kind of interested in doing that. And I think I want to do that. And I think this is what I want to do over here. He goes, but what do you do? He goes, you just start shooting. You just take that shotgun and you're just going boom, 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 boom. And that's what I do. That's what you have to do. You can sit around all day going, I want to have my own business. I want to do this. I don't want to work for somebody else anymore. I don't like my job. I hate my life. You got to do something, even if it's wrong. You got to do something. You can't just stay in that job that you hate and hate your life. Okay? No fate but what we make. If you're down in the dumps and you want a better life, you can get it. You can do it yourself. You don't like your job, get another one. You want a business, do it. Go after it. Have the guts, have the passion, you know. Nothing good is easy, nothing good is free. A line from one of my favorite songs of all time that I listen to when I get down. Nothing good is easy, nothing good is free. You know? The answer's in your own heart. You know what you want to do. So, I have no idea if anybody's been watching, any comments you made. Steve's over here shaking his head. Yeah, I need to get out of here, go check out my daughter, get some lunch. I wanted to share that story, so there it is to the world. Hope you've enjoyed the story. Please leave your comments down below. Please like and share this video. And we will see you in the next video because you'll know there'll be more. Hovering flight, also called tail rotor drift. It's one of the 3 T's that everybody screws up: effective translational lift, transverse flow effect,